Hello everyone, I'm Pamela I, Emmanuel, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm actually on YouTube. Wait, what? One second. It's been a while since I've wanted to do YouTube. I've put it off for a while, got busy, life happened. Now that we're in quarantine, I'm getting a lot of stuff done. Finally launching my YouTube channel, so welcome to my world. Yeah. One thing I'll say is that I'm a super private person. I have a very small circle of people that I trust with my vulnerability, with who I am, and I'm changing that a little bit this year. I feel like I have a lot to offer and it's time to come to the spotlight. I normally like to be behind the scenes in my career. I'm a really great person to have on your team because I do believe in supporting and lifting up the hands of others because I know how it feels to build something or want to build something and not have support. So I always make sure that I'm sowing support. But in this season, I'm being pushed to come to the spotlight, and so I'm just gonna be obedient. So let's jump right into my video. Who is Pamela? Without going into the different roles that I play in life as a mom, as a businesswoman, as a daughter, as a sister, the three main areas that I believe that I'm called to is the areas of faith, fashion, and finance. Of course, there's others, but those are the three main categories that I am called to. And with that said, I am an international businesswoman as well as a couture bridal designer. I also travel the world searching for hidden treasures and obscure destinations that not a lot of people know about. I have a gift of finding hidden gems. I like to call myself a gold miner. I like to find hidden things. I like to find them, but also it's a gift that I find hidden treasures. Even in people, I have this thing where I can like mine out the gold within somebody. There is a facet of who I am that I don't really share openly, but I plan to do so with this channel. At the moment, I am on a fulfilling journey of self-mastery. I'm actually finally living the life that I foreknew, if that makes any sense. I'm finally living the life that I always knew that I was meant to live. But please know that my life now looks nothing at all like it used to look 6 years ago. Just 6 years ago. Since I was a child, God had always given me like these really grandiose dreams and visions, glimpses of what my future would be. And after a while, to be honest with you, it took a while to manifest. It actually became a torment to me, like a thorn in my flesh, because it was like, God told me one thing and then this looks polar opposite. So growing up, I've always been like a dreamer, a visionary, a seer. Without even developing it, I've always just naturally have the gift to see. And God has always revealed to me things before they happen. I walk with God, and even before I walked with God closely, He would reveal to me things, and most of the time, if not all the time, they come to pass. That's another reason why I picked up the gift of intercession and prayer, because some of the times I would be shown things and instructed to pray to avoid them or cancel them or whatnot. So, they kind of go, those two gifts go hand in hand. I remember like during that season, it was such a dark time. I remember one incident that I had. I was in my mother's bedroom, and this was, during the beginning of the separation between my ex-husband, and I was putting my son to sleep. And I was lamenting, not out loud, just within. I had always done that throughout the duration of our relationship. It was just not meant to be. And I remember like lamenting in my spirit, like, Lord, like you promised me this, you promised me that. What's going on? How did I end up here? And I heard the voice of God. It was a very authoritative voice, strong, firm voice, but it wasn't scary. It was comforting, but it was also, felt like a father correcting a child. And I heard the words I would never forget: reign, R-E-I-G-N. And when I heard this, it literally shook me to my core. Like my body was vibrating because the voice of God had just spoken to me. And I was in the room by myself, just me and my son. My son was sleeping. There was no man in the house. And I literally vibrated for a while. I couldn't compose myself because something about the word reign, like it centered me, it realigned me, and it kind of awakened something within me. From that point on, that was the changing point in my destiny. Changes started happening. It didn't happen rapidly. Some things did, other things took a while, but that was the pinnacle of me walking into a life where I reign. That was a point where I started walking into my true identity. It was that at that point that I felt the loving correction of a father, and I felt a mandating and a calling forth what he wanted me to do. And I'd always seen visions, or I've always seen things, like even in the natural realm, of kingship and king and queen and royalty and majesty and castles, and I've always been drawn to royalty, and I would see like word king, queen, royal, majestic. So if you noticed a pattern about me, about, you know, with those things, anything to do with royalty, it's because of that. That's one of the ways that the Lord speaks to me. And so it was so ironic that when he was trying to get my attention, when I was going through, like, it was a depression, he was like, look here, daughter, I've called you to reign. Like, snap out of whatever this is. You need to reign. That is what I created you to do. Up until now, it explains why I'm so attracted to kingdom and so attracted to all things royalty, and it's just because it's in my DNA. The question that I asked myself, and others asked me, is how did you end up there? Like, how did you end up in such a situation? The answer, honestly, is that I didn't walk in the woman that God had told me that I was. I didn't walk in the fullness of who I was. Why? I was fearful of intimidating others. I was fearful of making others uncomfortable. I didn't rise up to be all of I could be. I didn't strive to fulfill my fullest potential. And to be honest, my nature, as I mentioned, is that I like to support. It's something I like to serve. That's just something that's been ingrained in me. I mean, even as a child growing up, but even like in my nature, my DNA is I like to serve. I like to serve people, particularly not just anybody. I like to serve pioneers. I serve people that have big visions, big visions, big visions, big visions. And I like to bring that relief. It's funny because God gave me this statuesque, kingly presence, standing at 6'3". Yes, I am 6'3". And guess what? I wear high heels. Yes, I do. Absolutely. Yes, I do. So even if I wanted to hide, even if I tried to like hide myself, it's not even possible. Like, there's no way that I can even hide. It's not physically possible at all. I remember growing up, the first time I ever stepped out and did something out of the norm. It happened throughout childhood, but I remember graduating from high school, and everybody was going to college, and everybody was going to be a nurse and a doctor and a lawyer and a teacher and that, and they're like, well, Pamela, what do you want to do? And I remember like saying, I want to be a fashion designer. That's what I want to do. And I remember everybody, like parents, the friends I was around, they were like, what? There's no money in that. Like, why? And you know, of course, family members, you don't want to be a liability. You want to be an asset to your husband or your future husband. And I was kind of laughed at. I mean, it was definitely something that was shameful. It's not the times now where everybody wants to be the fashion designer. No. Plus, I am Nigerian, my heritage, and I was born and raised in the United States of America. Now, there's a lot of pressure within our community to be doctors, lawyers, nurses, engineers. Anything outside of that is looked at down on. It's looked as a career or a education that is not serious. And could potentially be a liability. Now everyone's into fashion and the arts and creative arts and stuff like that, but it wasn't like that when I was growing up. So anytime I would share my dreams, I kind of learned not to share. Like, if I sense that I'm not safe to be vulnerable and safe to dream, I withhold. I know a lot of people probably that see me now on social media, or even maybe that watch this video, they're like, she's so different. I don't remember her being like that. She was so quiet. She was so reserved. She was so vain. They thought they saw fashion as something vain. They saw beauty, makeup as something that was carnal, vain, superficial. Whenever I would share, I would hear, you're too much. It's too much. Can't you just be a teacher? Go do something else. Can't you just go? You should be a teacher. You should be a teacher. And it's like, can I teach fashion? So over the years, I observed and I learned that my greatness, my uniqueness, the fact that I don't follow trends. I kind of am always been a pioneer. That's always been my nature. I start trends, I don't follow them. If I like something, I like something. If it's a trend and I don't like it, I don't partake. That's just always been my nature. Always leading, always innovating, always. That's just always been me. I just learned that my greatness and my uniqueness intimidated people. So I would discern that people would shrink in my presence. Like, they would just become intimidated, or they would become nice nasty. I didn't even have to hear anything. It was just something I could discern. As far back as I remember, I've always been drawn to beautiful things. I mentioned royalty, but also like fashion and beauty and hair and makeup and perfume and just architecture and furniture and interior design and just not beautiful. I like nice things, beautiful quality clothes, fabrics. That's just always been me. That's just something that I've always loved since I was a child. I just love beautiful things. I love royalty. My favorite color is gold. My favorite color is leopard. If that was a color, it would be one of my favorite colors. I love Parisian things. I love Paris. I've just always been drawn to that. I've also been drawn to success. I'm not impressed by titles. I'm not impressed by success unless it's purposeful. Like, I thrive on purposeful success. I'll go into that maybe in another video or so, but knowledge, I love knowledge. I'm a long life learner, and education in the area that you're called. I think that's something that I thrive off of. It's not just any old education in the area, of course, that your purpose, that you know that you're called to. And that's why I study everything that I love. I am drawn to strength, particularly strong women, not like fake strong, like you carry power, you're power packed. Right here, deep calls out to deep. So I'm drawn to powerful women because I am powerful, and at times I feel like my power intimidates people. And so when I see someone else being wholeheartedly powerful, just as all bad all by themselves, it motivates me. When I see women that are courageous, when I see women that are brave, not overbearing, not intimidating, like, you know what I mean? Masculine, in a masculine way, but like they're strong and they're confident in themselves as a woman, and they love to come out and be who they are. One thing about me I have to share is I don't like to be in the spotlight. Honestly, like, I'm good. I don't mind being on the side or in the background. I think I work really well in the background. I'm a really great, that might sound kind of proud, but I support really well. One of the things I would say my strength is I have a really great work ethic. I always bring that to the table. Another thing is I know what it feels like to have a big vision and no support. I know what that feels like. So one of the things I like to do is sow that into other people, like pioneers, people with big visions, people with big dreams. I like to sow that support because I pray that I'll also reap that in my own life. So yeah, so this here thing that I'm doing here is so not me. One thing I would say is that I can never boast in myself or my accomplishments. It's literally the love and the grace of God that He has for me, because honestly, it's through the promptings of Ruach HaKodesh, which is the Holy Spirit, that whenever I obey, I have success. Whenever I disobey, I end up in heartache. So I've just learned to obey. I'm at a time in my life where I'm finally on the path, I feel, of achieving what God has called me to do. Although I had not done everything, or we're still partnering together and we're working on something, we're working out this life together. I'm finally on that journey and I'm so grateful for it. Again, I could never boast in myself. I'm not a self-made success, honestly. It's a God-made success. It's God-made, and I just happen to partner and walk in it. I believe that love is not supposed to hurt. I think a lot of people are experiencing pain in love, and I understand that there's hard times. I'm not saying that love is not hard work. What I'm saying is that it shouldn't hurt. It shouldn't hurt you. It shouldn't take away from who you are. It should add to you. Of course, take away the bad, but like, it shouldn't hurt you. Personally, from my experience, I'll just be 100% vulnerable. This is my unveiling after all. 6 years ago, experienced a heartache. And not that I not experienced heartache before, I think all of us have. It's just that I never, you don't expect to experience heartache in a marriage. So about 6 years ago, I actually was abandoned at the Los Angeles airport with my 11-month-old son with no provision by my ex-husband. And so that was just probably the worst that it got throughout. But I don't believe that love should hurt, and that's my stance on that. We have not seen him since that day, and we're totally fine with that now. It was a hard season for me, but God used that to kind of catapult me and lead me into my destiny. So although it hurt like crazy, it was definitely necessary, because if it did not happen, I would not be able to discover the hidden gems within myself. So I'm grateful for it now, but then it's pretty tough. One of the things that really helped me during that season was my faith. My prayer life played a really key role in that. I've always been a prayerful person. I grew up in a Christian home, and so through impartation and being in an environment of prayerful parents, I did pick up prayer naturally. Now, growing up, I probably would pray just to, just because, just to fulfill our righteousness, I would pray. But it wasn't until I went through that dark season in my life that I really developed my prayer life and understood the authority that I have in prayer, and I actually discovered a calling, faith in that area. So hopefully I'll be sharing more of that on this channel, but that was where I found my strength. That was where I found the keys to unlock my life. One thing I will share is that although I do love makeup, hair, nails, perfume, beauty, fashion, and aesthetically appealing things, there's more to me. I've always had the depth, but it was honestly through my darkest season that I realized that none of those things, and I mean none of them, makeup, hair, it literally meant nothing to me. It was not able to help me during my toughest challenge. The real me is what sustained me. My prayer life is what sustained me. Being dependent on God is what sustained me during my hardest time. Look, there goes an eyelash. This is my unveiling of who I really am. I'm more than the hair, more than the fashion. I'm more than the makeup. Yes, I love all those things, but I know that my spirit man is much stronger, much more beautiful. And it's my hope to share that on this channel. Who I am, the successes, the fashion, the beauty, all of that, plus my faith. I want to take you on that journey with me. I don't know, some of you might be going through your toughest challenge. You might feel like I'm looking right now. You might feel that you might look like what you're going through. This channel is for you. I want to introduce you to my secret, my mystery, which is prayer, and also give you some strategies that I use to literally come out of depression, come out of shame, come out of reproach, come out of anger and unforgiveness. And I want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel. But before I close, I want you to pray a prayer that I prayed when I went through my hardest time. Father, I thank you for the love you have for me unconditionally. Although at times I may doubt it due to my past experiences and my current circumstances, today I choose with my will to walk in the original design you had in mind when you created me. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am made in your likeness. Your works are wonderful in me, and I am confident in this. I desire to discover my true self, my royal identity. I trust the good plans you have toward me, plans to prosper me and bring me to an expected end. Forgive my unbelief and for partnering with every thought contrary to my original design. And I come out of agreement with all contradictions in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Only allow your counsel to stand in my life. In you I am made whole, and I am loved unconditionally. I forgive, for as you have forgiven me. I forgive those who have slandered, wrongfully accused me, prejudged me, abandoned, abused, mocked, betrayed, misused, and bore false witness against me. I surrender to you all the dark places that have secretly tormented me: rape, molestation, betrayal, insecurity, uncertainty, feelings of inadequacy, inferiority complexes, self-rejection, self-loathing, shame, embarrassment, fear, worry, doubt, torment, and the fear of the future. I release from my soul all trauma, unforgiveness, anger, bitterness, resentment, offense, injustice, pain, and insecurity as a result of my past. I command all condemning words, word curses, slander, hexes, spells, incantations, magic, voodoo, fiery darts, shame, defamation, misjudgment, and misrepresentation that were spoken or conceived in the mind be blotted out permanently in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. I release from my spirit, soul, mind, body, will, and memory bank, and my emotions now, never ever to return again. They can no longer hide in me in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Help me discover my identity and discover myself, my dreams, my gifts, aspirations, visions that have been buried under disappointment, delay, and prolonged fulfillment of your promises. Wherever my virtues and destiny have been exchanged on the threshing floor of sin or stolen by the enemy, I confiscate it now in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. I take captive and discipline my thoughts, my words, my actions, my will, and my emotions. My words and all that proceed out of my mind will now align to your original plan and purpose for me. I renew my mind and put on the mind of Yeshua HaMashiach. I inhale and receive abundance of life, joy, peace, confidence, love, acceptance, healing, freedom, and liberty in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. I take dominion back where I have relinquished my power. I command all the layers of my soul to relocate me. I am now made whole and I will never be fragmented again in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Awaken and reveal to me who I am so that I may walk in my authentic self. I know that when I walk in this realm, all that is needed for me to fulfill destiny will be divinely located to me. I am made in your image, an heir worthy of the kingdom inheritance, and therefore I accept and receive your goodness, mercy, and royal courtesies. All this I decree and declare in the name and by the blood of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen.